My name's James McQueen. I'm an artist and a designer. I started in the fashion industry when I was given that opportunity by my uncle, Lee Alexander McQueen. I never studied fashion, but there was a position that come open in Alexander McQueen for a textile designer. Given my history as a digital artist, I fit in really well into that category in terms of the digital space. The influence from Lee really come from a shared love of storytelling, and that storytelling aspect is something that I try to continue within my work as well. It's creating an experience for the audience through a combination of different things. You know, it could be art pieces, it could be jewellery. All that combined becomes a whole experience and a story for the audience to step into. After leaving Alexander McQueen, I started my own brand. The first product that I launched for my brand was a range of silk scarves. What I wanted to do was create something that was a tribute for Lee, so I named it Life, Death and Rebirth. This image became iconic as the face of the Savage Beauty exhibition, which commemorated my uncle's life's work. Lee asked me to create a morph of his face, and he wanted it to morph into a skull. This image was created for the McQueen documentary. They asked me to create a hero image that summed up Lee's personality and his spirit. So this was a campaign shot that I created. It's really a number of things that I bring together to create a new idea and a new visual narrative, really. I chose to create a digital fashion show because of the boundless possibilities that you could have, and also I wanted to do something that had never been done before. The idea behind Guiding Light, it starts with an overall feeling. In this case, it started with one image that my uncle used to reference a lot, which was the Flayed Angel, which was based on a Victorian anatomical drawing. I wanted to take that concept and create something in 3D, so I 3D sculpted this. This image also became a reference point for one of the pieces in the show as well. The story itself is kind of based loosely on Egyptian mythology, Babylonia, time travel, and it's got an anatomical underfeel as well. The idea behind this was based on sun worship, which has become quite a big part of the Guiding Light show that I'm working on as well, particularly this sun gods, which is one of the main characters actually in the show. I've been playing with the idea in my head of creating a digital show by working with Unreal Engine, which is really powerful software tool to create a world for people to literally step into. So using storyboarding, you can really start to get an idea of the sequences and the flow of the show. Essentially, that's what this is. It's part show, but it's part film as well. But everything has to be tightly choreographed and timed. So what we did was film motion capture.
Well, the mocap data we are recording today, we're going to put on 3D models, and those models are going to move within our 3D environment. We're using motion capture because we're trying to make the motion more human, more authentic.
The inspiration for the environment was based loosely on the Tower of Babel. We created the wider environment around that tower as well, and all the atmosphere. That's where it all comes to life, this world, for people to step into. The collection itself is going to be split into both physical pieces and purely digital pieces. If you're creating a physical show, you build a whole set with so many materials involved in that, like wood and cardboard and plastic, and that's only used for 20 minutes for a show. Whereas if you're building a 3D set, you know, you've got the longevity of that. Being a fashion designer, you're essentially an artist, and having the capability of being hands-on in the 3D realm as well as the traditional realm has given me much more freedom and control over the creative process.
We're using digital technology probably in a way that kind of hasn't really been seen before in terms of the breadth of things that we're developing.
For me, it's really important that the fashion world becomes a little bit more inclusive. I think the way that I'm doing that is merging fashion with film and gaming, you know. What I'm trying to do is make this so inclusive that it crosses generations, genders and races.